Hi guys, thank you so much for validating my attention seekingness in the last video. All the comments and all the likes are, it fuels my ego, makes me feel like I'm better than I actually am, so much appreciated. But moving along, I am drawing Haurchefant from Final Fantasy XIV, as I said from last week. And I will be drawing him with my Warrior of Light, a blue-head idiot, a Lalafell tank, or as my friend would like to say it, a Falafel tank, who probably will get gobbled up at some point by one of these primals. His name is Daichan, and as you might imagine, Haurchefant is my favorite character. I think I did ramble about him for quite a while on the last video, but I just can't help it because, he is so nice. He's such a support character, a supportive character. That's what I meant. Yeah, I feel like all of us need Haurchefant in our lives at some point when we're going through hard times. But this will be no spoiler territory, so I'm not gonna say anything that might ruin it for anyone who hasn't played it before. And I'm actually struggling here drawing his armor, chainmail thing, whatever it is, because there's not many references around, so I just took creative licenses, and it might look a bit strange in some places, but I did the best I could with my laziness as well, because I didn't really want to bother researching too much into it. It just takes so much time to do these things. And that's a problem, right? Because I'm so lazy when it comes to finding references. It may take me at least 5 minutes to get something good, and it can go up to, 30 minutes. I think at some point I did actually spend about almost an hour finding a good reference, but I just couldn't find it, and I ended up going, screw it, I could have used this time to actually draw. So I think I actually like it better if I draw it from my imagination. Doesn't always work out. I screwed the anatomy up because no references. What else was I expecting? But I think it's just a more productive use of my time. Oh yeah, speaking of poses and anatomy, I did buy this poser doll. So you know how the poser dolls are generally wooden and they have like these joints that you move around, and it's just very basic, like building blocks of human body, pretty much. Yeah, that I do not like that one. Actually, it's a bit too janky for me. I tried finding a good one, but I just never could find it. They're always so rough, and they can get pretty expensive as well, and I just am not a big fan of them in general. So I went on eBay and I found this really interesting poser doll. It's of an actual like human body. I mean, like obviously not full size because that would break with like for $5,000 or something. It's like a figurine almost. I can't really describe it, but it is about 1/7 or 1/6 of human scale, and it has silicone. So instead of just it being the bare joints, it actually has silicone covering the joints. So you can actually see how the pose interacts with the muscles, and you can just see the flesh, the substance, and it's just a lot easier to actually draw with it instead of trying to imagine what the skin would look like over the pose. And you also get the references of the muscles, the abs, the biceps and the back. So it's so good. I got it for $100. And I have it stored in my cupboard at the moment. I think my only qualm about it was that I couldn't properly put it on the stand. So I have to make do with just leaning it against a surface so it doesn't fall over. But it is quite good, really. And the one thing that I didn't realize it was gonna come with was that, it had, I think, a set of human peepees, so if you know what I mean, detachable, so I could change it around, and there was like a big one, a small one, a limp one, and it was just surreal. I wasn't expecting to get that level of detail, so it was just hilarious to me. I think I showed it to my friends and they all just laughed at it and we all had good fun with it. There was actually one in the shape of a horse, you know, that super long, super thick one. Oh my god, it's hilarious. But I guess the problem with it is that you have to buy two instead of just one, because you have the male version and the female version, and I believe they had a less muscular male version as well. I might be remembering it wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised if there is. It's really good. I highly recommend it if anyone is looking for a good mannequin posing thing. It's very versatile, so you know, it really helped me, and because I do like drawing this muscles, I have this strange fascination towards it. There's just something so raw about it. I don't know, I sound like a pervert, but I swear I'm not, or am I? I probably am. But anyways, I digress. Again, I ramble as always. It actually was my birthday about 5 days ago or something. I don't have any concept of time, so I can't remember when it actually is. I think it might have been 4 days ago. Yeah, so I just had back-to-back karaoke sessions, so I literally had 2 hours on Wednesday and another 2 hours on Thursday, and I am supposed to have another 2 this Sunday as well, and today. But it is raining outside. I think it's gonna be raining the whole day, so the plan might be a bust, which is a shame because I do love my karaoke, and that's probably why my throat is super screwed up right now. So if you can hear me rumbling a little bit, like, you know, gurgling a little, it's because of karaoke, not because I have COVID or anything. Besides, I think the COVID situation is kind of calming down in Australia anyway, so it's not really a big issue anymore, which is good. Am I glad to not live in America? That place is a hellhole right now. I do want to go there eventually, but maybe not now. It is kind of worrisome. I have a few friends in America and I do worry about them. Like, I hope they're doing okay. I might not talk to every single one of them every day, but my prayers, my thoughts are with them. And for everyone also who's watching this video, I hope you guys are doing well and staying safe, staying at home if you can, wear your mask, travel safe. Don't travel at all, actually. What am I talking about? Unless, you know, you're going to get the groceries or something. Yeah, so I'm just gonna start rambling on and on about my day, pretty much, while this video is playing and while I'm struggling to draw pretty much everything, and while I'm also struggling to draw Lalafels, because it is so weird drawing someone who looks like a chibi character, but you have to actually put details on him. I'm just not used to that concept. I can't wrap my head around it, but I might have to eventually, because I do love my Warrior of Light. So yeah, I think about 4 or 5 days ago, I started watching this documentary on Netflix called Hotel Cecil. I'm sure a lot of you already know what it's about. I mean, I already knew what it was about as well before I started watching it. So Eliza Lamb, the whole quote-unquote murder, or maybe suicide, it still hasn't been ruled out yet. Yeah, the video in the elevator was really, really terrifying. I actually did watch it about 2 years ago or something, and it was just really unnerving. I think, I don't know, there's no ghost sighting or anything, but the way she acted, the way everything played out, and all these conspiracy theories and all these speculations, they're just quite terrifying. So for those of you who don't know Eliza Lamb, she was found dead in a water tank in Hotel Cecil. Like, the tank was closed supposedly, and there's no way someone could have accidentally opened and closed it, so it looked like it was intentional. And before this happened, Eliza was spotted in a CCTV camera in an elevator, and she was making this strange hand gestures. She looks like she was talking to someone, but there was no one there, and she was pressing all the buttons as well, and the lift was just refusing to close its doors for some goddamn reason. Because you know how usually 2-3 seconds in and, you know, ding, it goes, like, it closes regardless of how many buttons were pushed. But no, she didn't even touch it anymore. She stood in the corner and the lift door just you know, doesn't close. So it almost looks like someone was holding it from the outside, or maybe it was a malfunction because it is quite an old establishment. We never know, we never know. And then she just left, and you know, bam, she died in a water tank. The guest actually drank and bathed in the water, which is a horror story. Just imagine that. God, I would have like some sort of PTSD or something. But this is not about to be about some sort of unsolved mystery channel or anything. I just like watching this kind of videos. It's fascinating, but it does leave me quite unfulfilled with the lack of resolution, so that's why I'd rather watch, you know, solved cases, obviously, about, you know, morbid curiosity about serial killers. See, whenever I say to someone I've been watching podcasts about serial killers, they always flinch and go like, should I be worried? Like, no, but you shouldn't. I just like watching it because it's, you know, morbid curiosity. It's not like I'm about to start grabbing a knife and slashing you or anything. Unless you're really annoying. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not about to murder anyone. Don't worry. Don't report me. Do not flag this video. I am just kidding. And another thing I was watching as well is actually a J-drama. So in the past, I was really into it as well. And I think I have some favorites that I watch from time and time again. One of the series that I like is actually Kamen Rider, so it might sound childish to those of you who haven't watched it. But once you watch Kamen Rider Gaim, I believe Kamen Rider Gaim, it's about fruits. Fruits, yeah, that's transformed into fruits. Well, at least fruit-inspired, you know, Kamen Rider. Anyways, it's pretty dark, actually. I didn't even expect it to be that dark. Someone actually died in it, and that just took me from the left field. I was like, hey, this was supposed to be jolly and, you know, show for kids. Well, maybe not kids, like teenagers and stuff. But it got so dark, and oh, I just had to like take a step back and go, whoa, okay, so, you know, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. And then, yeah, I started watching a few more as well. So, yeah, J-dramas. Always a good thing to watch. But I guess my only problem with it is that it tends to get quite exaggerated. I think they take too much inspirations from anime, so some of these characters' reactions, personalities are just, you know, weird ass. Like, you have this cool guy who stands in the corner, just like smirk at people from the distance. It's cringe. No one does that in real life, alright? No one. And if you do, you probably have some like Chunibyo or something. Anyways, yeah, I was watching this one series called Switched on Netflix, and it is a Netflix original series. It's really good. I really recommend you guys watch it. I guess it does go over this, like, two girls switching bodies, and it might sound a bit, you know, rom-com-y, a bit wacky and like teenage-inspired stuff, but I assure you it is good. It is not at all childish. It is actually very deep, and I did watch it when it first released on Netflix, and I cried then, and I cried right now again. It's just so emotional, or maybe I'm just a sap, I don't know. I do get teary quite easily anyways, so maybe that's a cause as well. But no, it is actually a great series, and I highly recommend it. Check it out if you haven't watched it yet. What other J-drama do I like? Liar Game. That one was sick. I believe it was an adaptation from a manga. And it is a psychological thriller kind of thing. So you have to lie to each other to profit. You know, there's money to be won. When there's money to be won, there's people who are nasty and greedy and selfish. And that's just human nature, isn't it? We just think about ourselves, usually. So the main character is a super naive girl. She got fooled all the time because she trusts people too easily and too much. And she had to team up with this super high-profile scammer to actually, you know, not win, but win back her money that was stolen. So she doesn't have to live life in debt and stuff like that. It's really good. It can get a bit comical as well. But I guess that's just a pet peeve. The story was actually amazing. And I haven't actually watched the Korean version. There is a Korean version. But I heard that the main character is even more annoying there, so I thought, nah, I'll miss it. Thank you. No, no thanks. But wow, this video is actually pretty long. I feel like my throat is sore from all this talking. It's 17 minutes by the time I've actually compiled the video, so I'm just talking over it right now. Damn, I'm kind of running out of things to say. My life is just so boring. Oh, yeah, I had a driving lesson yesterday, so I'm 25, I still can't drive. Do not judge. I just stress out too much over simplest things, and I feel like being honked at, you know, just being on the road has its own expectations. People just expect you to perform like 100% all the time, and the moment you don't, I don't know, you might crash or something. It is stressful, and I've been putting it in the back burner ever since I was 18, since I was pretty much legal to drive. Yeah, my friend do mock me for it because, you know, hey, you're 25, so I can't drive, what's up? I just can't help it, okay? I never really needed to drive because Australia has such a good public transport. If I do live in Indonesia still, then I would have definitely had to drive because, bruh, the public transport there is just a nightmare. And it's messy, there's not many of it, and there's like pickpockets and stuff, gross people all around. Yeah, I think I would rather drive if I was still living in Indo. But in Australia, it's really good here. Everyone's so civilized. Like, there are some graffitis, obviously, douchebags just vandalizing the train with... Like, you know, if you want to vandalize, at least make it pretty. Don't just write stuff and, I don't know, draw penis on the wall or something. I think it's just stupid. But yeah, the buses, the trains, the trams, everything's perfect here, so I don't really need to drive. But then, now I think about it, I do want to travel, so I think it would be good to be able to drive so I can go places myself without having to rely on crappy public transport or anything like that. And I do want to go to America eventually, right? And I believe the roads are quite long there. So it's not easy to move from state to state, and you would need to be able to drive. Yeah, so that's definitely a reason why I'm learning now. But yeah, I didn't die, so I think I did good. I haven't driven in about 2 years now. I think my last practice was a while ago, and I'm pretty sure I almost crashed at least 3 times and freaked my partner out, so that was kind of funny. But this time I took it slow, I took it easy, and I went with an actual instructor, so I was able to see what I was doing wrong and what I should be improving on. To eventually maybe get my license. I hope I'm not going to be SpongeBob SquarePants, which is gonna crash into everyone and never get his license, even though he's done it for years. But you know, you never know, right? I have such a short attention span, so I wouldn't be surprised if I fail every single exam. But anyway, yeah, so this is Haurchefant with the Warrior of Light. Finally finished, all done and dusted. Not sure what I'm gonna do next week, but we shall find out. Thanks so much for sticking with me and listening to my long ass rambles. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.